Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to discuss about Git. We are going to set up Git in our local machine or whatever you have any Windows machine or Windows virtual machine, you can set up there using this tutorial and you can integrate that with VS Code or your Visual Studio. Okay, we will also see the Git command line as well as Git GUI. Okay, to clone the repositories and manage that. Okay, so let's start. So if you don't know anything about Git or if you are a beginner in development or IT, then here is the quick introduction for you. Git is a free and open source version control system which we can use to handle everything. I mean all the projects, either if you have very small project or large project with high efficiency. Okay, you can easily clone the repository, you can commit your changes, you can push your changes in the remote, and you can even create the branches and work according to your branching strategy defined by your company. Okay, it's very easy to learn. If you have VS Code or Visual Studio installed, it's even easier. But if you want to use Git with command line, then you'll have to, of course, learn few of the commands. Okay, we'll discuss that in upcoming videos. So first, to install the Git, you will have to open the website, official website of the Git, which is this one, git-scm.com, and here you can download it. If you have Windows, you can download for Windows, or you can download for Mac and all as well. Okay, so if you don't know this site, just simply search download Git and it will, yeah, you can see this website is here. So you can click on it, it will take you to the downloads folder. So here if you want to download it for Mac, you want to download it for Windows, Linux or Unix, you can download it. So we have to download it for Windows. We'll click on download for Windows. Okay, if you come here, it will ask you, I mean, whatever the Windows version you have, you can select it. Like if you have 64-bit, you can click on it. Okay, so I have 64-bit Windows, I will click on it. Once you clicked, it will download the file. See, my file has started downloading. It will take some time to download. The file is of 65 MB. It will take some time. I have already downloaded it. So once your file is downloaded, I will just cancel it. Once your file is downloaded, you can open that file and download or double click on that downloaded file and install it. Once that is installed, once that is installed, you will have to open Git from here. Just simply search Git and you will see Git GUI, Git Bash, Git CMD and all. So if you want to use Git with GUI, you can select the Git GUI. If you want command line, you can select Git Bash. Okay. If you want to use Git with CMD, you can always select the Git CMD. In this video, we'll use Git GUI and Git Bash, and also we will use VS Code as well. So we'll see with using VS Code how we can push and pull the repositories. Okay, so I have opened the VS Code here as well. Okay, here is the VS Code, and if you download or pull your repository here, you can simply click on this file and open a new window. Okay, click on new window. See, once you have this windows open, you can see all the options here like clone git repository, new file, open if you want to create new some files or something like that, you can do that, or you can clone a git repository. Simply to clone, just click on clone git repository and you will have to paste the repository URL. So suppose I'll go to my Azure DevOps and will try to clone a repository. So let me clone some another repository. So suppose this is my repository and I want to clone it. Simply click on clone and here is the URL. In this URL you will have to provide, and you will have, or you can also click on this clone in VS Code. If you have drop down here, you can get all the ID here. You can select whatever you are using. Since we are using VS Code, you can just click on it, or you can copy this URL and go to VS Code and paste it here. So click on clone Git repository, paste this URL, press enter. It will ask you to save that file. So suppose we save this file at desktop, select the repository location, and it has started to clone the repository. Okay, so like this in VS Code we can clone it and see it is in progress. And also even in VS Code, see this has cloned. Click on open in new window. It will open all the files in new windows. Okay, see all the folders and files we had in the remote, it is now here. Okay, so you can create the branches here and you can also make the changes, push and pull it. So suppose I have this folder and I have this branch, I want to change something in it. So suppose I have updated something like this in readme file. Click, just press Ctrl S to save it, and once this is saved you will have to click on this git icon. First you will have to stage all the change, whatever changes you want to commit. So suppose this file you want to commit, you can click on this plus icon to stage the change. Okay, click on it, so the change will be staged. Now you will have to write a commit message. You can write like first changes or change the readme file, whatever comment you want to update here. This should be relevant to the changes you have made. Okay, so now you can commit it, but if you commit it directly you will have to again click on push. But if you click on this drop down, you have so many options like commit and push. So if you click on commit and push, it will also commit the change as well as push to the remote. Okay, it will, if you click commit and sync, it will commit and sync your changes with remote. If remote has any changes, it will first pull and then push your changes. So we'll simply do commit and push. Okay, this change it will go and commit it and it will pull it to the remote. So let's go to remote and verify it. Refresh the page and open this readme file. It is taking some time to load. Even if you open VS Code again, you'll if you have some other options as well, like you can come here and see, you can open terminal as well from here. So suppose you want to run your git commands from here, you can run that as well. You can open the new terminal and select your language here. You want to use with PowerShell or Bash. So suppose you want it to use with PowerShell or Git Bash, you can always select Git Bash here and directly run your commands like git clone and all, whatever we run to clone the repositories and all. See, okay, let me see this readme file. You can see the changes are pushed. My name is Ramesh. Go to contents and click on history. We'll see the latest commit here as well. Let it load. We'll see all the history details. You can compare compare it as well. Okay. So from here in VS Code as well, you can do all everything. You can write git clone and you can provide the URL which we have given. This will also clone the repository. Okay, so this is git clone is a command to clone the repository. So like this we have all the command to pull, push, stage and everything to add the changes. Okay, this is the easiest way to work with git and the repository. You can work with GitHub, Bitbucket, whatever repository you have with VS Code and Git. Okay, if you want to work with Git GUI, simply open the Git GUI and you can do like clone, open existing repository, create a new repository and clone as well. So if you want to clone it from here or you want to open the existing repository, you can click on that. If you want to clone, simply in source location you will have to paste the URL which we have copied, the repository URL, and target directory. You will have to paste the target directory here. So suppose this is my directory and I can clone it. Okay, since this folder already existed there, that's why it is not cloning. But if you select some different path, then of course it will clone. Okay, so using this you can clone it, or so suppose you want to do something else, like you want to create a new repository itself, then you can always come here in the Git GUI. You can create the repository. If you want to open existing repository, you can open that as well. So let me select the one which I just have cloned. Let me click on open. Okay, see the repository has been opened and here it is showing all the unstaged changes, stage changes. Once you make the change, everything will come here. So let me make some change here. All the changes will come here. Okay, after this let's open the Git Bash. Even with Git Bash you can run all the Git commands. If you want to clone the repository, you can always run git clone command. Okay, so if you type it, say this is cloning this repository, and it will clone into the default directory, like whatever directory you have set in this Git Bash, and you can see this is cloning. So you using this tool Git Bash, you can or run all the Git commands and manage your repository or version control system. So we have discussed three ways with VS Code, with Git, and Git GUI. Let me open the Azure DevOps here, and in history we can see the commit is of today, and the comment is change readme file. If you click on it, you can see all the commits here, like this commit I made. You can see commit ID and all here, the branch name and everything. Okay, so we used Git GUI as well to clone the repository, to manage the changes and all, and Git Bash as well as VS Code. Like how we did in VS Code, you can do that with other IDE as well, such as Visual Studio and others. Okay, to manage your project and version control system. That's it from this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.